One of my soul sisters that I have had the fortune and luck to connect with as a heart and soul. She is amazing. I met her on Mom Talk, and I feel like she's my sister from another mother. We have so many wonderful conversations. She's an expert in the field of conscious parenting, the author of the award-winning book, The Perfect Parent, and she has Tools of Growth, a very useful website that I highly recommend to all of you. Roma, Paul, it's my honor to welcome you and to have you come up and speak to us. Thank you so much. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Nellie. And a big shout out to Mom Talk. What a great job Nellie does. Mom Talk, bringing such fabulous content and really connecting a lot of people. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Nellie. And thank you, Liz. And thank you, Lisa. Where are you? There you are. Thank you for putting this wonderful event together. And thanks to all of you for being here. So we'll start out with talking about our favorite topic, our kids, right? We all love talking about our kids. So I'm going to start out by asking you a few questions. And if the answer to that is affirmative or I do, please raise your hands, okay? So it'll only take a quick minute. How many of you would know the look in your child's eye without them really telling you that they're sick? Right? How many of you would know their hangry behavior? Right? Everyone? How many of you would know what they're about to say, what they're trying to say when they roll their eyes? Right? We all know that. I didn't see any hands go up for that. Come on, we all know that. And how many of you in a room full of voices would know your own child's voice? And if I blindfolded you, how many of you would know your child's touch and hug? Each one of us. And if on your worst parenting day, I lined up a bunch of children and said, here, pick a new one. How many of you would pick your own? Come on, let's be honest here. How many of you would pick your own? And vice versa. You know, on their I hate you mommy day, they would still pick us. You want to know why? Because these children have come into our lives at that perfect moment in time. They have come into our lives to help us grow, and they really have come with no agenda. They have not come with any prerequisites of what they want in a mom. They did not come in with a description of, I want a less emotional mom, I want an athlete mom, I want a taller mom, a thinner mom, or something. But this is not what they come in with. They really come in knowing that and believing that you are it. Nobody knows them like you do. So truly, you are the perfect parent for your child. So now, will all the perfect parents in this room raise their hand? Thank you. Recognizing and understanding that, these children really help our own transformation and our own growth alongside. And whether we like it or not, we are a group. As moms, as parents, whatever our differences, as Lisa and Liz said, we are the tribe. And when we hang together, we learn from each other. And this is why it's so nice to see such a great group come together and be in one room to really harness and understand the importance of, of what we're doing as parents, as moms. Push comes to shove, we all want the same things for our kids, right? So let me put this question out there. Out of this right of parenting, what do we want for our children? And please feel free to open conversation. So out of this right of parenting, what do we want for our children? Happiness. Love. Strength.
Confidence.
confidence, security, patience. Yes, we want our kids to be happy and peaceful and healthy and successful. We want our kids to think positive. We want them to choose well. We want them to do good. Correct? So now let me pose another question. Let me ask you another question that you probably might not have thought about. And I ask this in all my parenting workshops. Out of this ride of parenting, what is it that you want for yourself? For yourself. Not what you want for your children. Survive, yes. Not what you want for your children, but what is it that you want for yourself? A good relationship. Right? A good relationship, because when all is said and done and your kids have left the nest, I promise you, mine are 25 and 28, I know. It's really not going to matter what school your children went to, what lifestyle they've chosen, what they've become, whether they're the President of the United States or a warrior mom. It's really not going to matter if you don't have a good relationship with them. Is that right? You want to look back and know that I did everything I could. And that relationship, that should be our goal, our intention every single day when we ride with the kids in the ups and downs. And that relationship starts and ends with communication. So what does communication really mean, right? If we want to make a really good lasagna, we have to look at the ingredients of a lasagna, right? So if we want to really be, effective at communication, then we should really know what communication really means. So the three facets of communication are thoughts, feelings, and expressions. And our feelings, of course, our emotions, our emotional landscape, that's what drives this communication landscape, both internal and external. And so this is what I'm passionate about with the book, with Tools of Growth. This is what I love to do. I'm not here to teach you how to parent your children, because obviously all of you are the perfect parents for your child. You know your child best. You're able and capable of doing that. But what I am passionate about is empowering parents to be their very best, to really simplify this ride of parenting. I know it seems burdensome, but with a few foundational tools, you can really take that pressure off of yourself. And when we take that pressure off of ourselves, it really makes us better parents. And how I arrived at the tools in my book and in the workshops, and now even in school districts I'm teaching, how I arrived at those tools was through my personal journey in my self-study in personal development, personal growth. I've been doing that for 20 years. In child development, I did that for both my children. They were both different. They both had challenges, and I thought I better study up. When my kids were little, nobody did this. What you guys are doing? Nobody talked about parenting and parenting issues. So I turned to books. And I started to connect the dots as I raised my children. And of course, the biggest teacher itself is the parenting ride, and bigger than that are our own kids. So really, our children will teach us more about ourselves than we can ever imagine. Does everyone agree with that? Mm-hmm. Isn't it because of our children that we are better human beings, right? More compassionate, more kind, more patient. Somebody said patient in the back. Our children really extract that from within us. And so, I started out as a young parent. I was very young when I started. I started out as a young parent with this idea of, I am going to raise stellar kids. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to raise stellar kids. And look at me now. They've raised a stellar mom. A mom stellar enough to write a book that she had never imagined at age 50. A mom who is here in front of you, really talking about how I have grown with my kids and how I love sharing that. And underneath all of this, raising our children, the most dialing into them. And it's hard sometimes, it challenges you sometimes. And I'll share this one example with you. My son, he was at Sierra Canyon, and he started the football team. It was new high school. He was the first graduating batch at Sierra Canyon. And so he was a quarterback. And in his senior year, he was driving back from school. He must have been 15 and a half. He was driving back from school. He walked in the door. I live in Valencia, so it's a 30-minute commute. He walks in the door and threw his backpack, and of course he was really upset. And I looked at him. I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "No, I'm really pissed because you'll never believe this. The coach is starting Jelani in the next game, and I'm really mad because I've spent so much time and effort building this team, and here I am. This is like a mom's telling." And underneath all of this, raising our children, the most important thing is dialing into them. And it's hard sometimes. It challenges you sometimes. And I'll share this one example with you. My son, he was at Sierra Canyon, and he started the football team, and it was new high school. He was the first graduating batch at Sierra Canyon. And so he was a quarterback. And in his senior year, he was driving back from school. Yeah, must have been 15 and a half. He was driving back from school. He walked in the door. I live in Valencia, so it's a 30-minute commute. He walks in the door, and he threw his backpack, and of course he was really upset. And I looked at him. I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "No, I'm really pissed because you'll never believe this. The coach is starting Jelani in the next game, and I'm really mad because I've spent so much time and effort building this team, and here I am. This is like the big game, and he's starting him in the game." And now, just a few days before that, I had learned something. I was part of Eckhart Tolle and Oprah's very first webcast in New Earth. I don't know if any of you remember, but there were 1 million of us logged on worldwide. And at that moment, during the webcast, I had learned about mindful listening and paying attention and really not interrupting. And I thought, I've got to try this with my kids. And of course, that day when my son walked in the door, my mind just turned on. Said, "All right, be quiet." And so he starts. "I can't believe this. He's starting the game. This is not fair. I can't believe the coach." And of course, as a mom, you have all this dialogue, right? This inner dialogue that's constantly, our thoughts and our feelings are rotating like the ticker on CNBC. And you want to jump in, But I said, "No, just listen." And so naturally, I started making sounds. I thought, I got to satisfy my mind somehow. So innately, I started saying, I can't believe this, and it's a big game, and we're going to lose the game, and I've done so much. And I'm so pissed, Mom. I can't even tell you. I don't even want to play it. I went, okay, all right. And he went on and on and on, and he finally said, "You know what, Mom? I know what I'm going to do." I'm thinking in my mind, he drove like this in this state of mind, right? And here I am, And at the end of it, he said, "You know what? I know what I'm going to do. I got to drop this attitude. Because if I go out into the field with this attitude, it's going to affect my teammates, and we're going to lose. So who cares who starts? If I'm the captain, I've got to stand out there and cheer on my team and be there from the sidelines, because if I don't do it, nobody will." I was like, That's it, right? That's it. And for the first time, I realized the power in staying quiet, the power in that silence, in just listening. And it's one of the big tools in my book, and the most popular, in just letting our children complete their sentences, complete their thoughts, because more often than not, they are going to resolution, and they're going to end up exactly where you want them to. And that is the goal, right? We all want the same things for our children. And really important for us to dial in on how can we do this job empowering them as well as making it easier for myself. Because we just really complicated things with with running from, one thing to another. And I think as moms, the more tools we get to survive ourselves and to help our kids thrive in this busy world, the more powerful we are. And believe it or not, a lot of that comes from, okay, right? And you know what he did? He walked to the end of the stairs, he turned around, walked back, gave me a big hug and kiss, and said, Mom, thank you so much for helping me. I don't know what I did. I really didn't do anything. I really just was there for him. And so relationships are developed through communication. And if you look at that word communication, the base word is commune, to come together. And we can only come together in that quiet space when we substitute this chatter with things that are conducive, with behavior that is conducive to our children's well-being and to their growth. We all start out with the right intentions, right? We all start out with the right intentions. And how often do our intentions end up not aligning with our behavior, right? And so intentions are a huge part of our success with our children. And to really harness what intentions mean and how they tie into our own personal lives and hence into parenting, we have the master of intention here today, right? We have Monica Chopra. Monica and I met at a Think Kindness conference, Think Kindness Summit, hosted by the Think Thin Bars group, the team, Lizette. And, I have to tell you, I fell in love with her the very first time. She brings that quiet, that authenticity, that peacefulness to a room that all of you are going to feel today. So Monica is here with us today. She is a mom, an entrepreneur, the founder of Intent.com. She is a wonderful person. I'm going to throw that in after, every professional accolade. We've shared some space together at Evolve last year, where Monica spoke. I was the MC of the event, and I had the opportunity to introduce her. We've been on Mom Talk with Nellie. So yes, we've spent some good time together, and I tell you, there's not a single author that I've met that I felt to the core and connected with as I did with Monica the very first time. And Nellie, you can testify to that. She's also the author of a couple of parenting books, and most of all, she walks the walk and talks the talk. Monica?
What an amazing introduction. Roma has become a sister. I really think we've, met at a... I'm going to move this if you don't mind, because I know I'll knock it over. We've met at many events now, and I have to say, and I say this every time I meet her, at one of these events, I kind of had boxes of books, and I was frazzled and struggling, and I had been there late, and her son came and just took care of everything. And it was like, I had such a sigh of relief, and he was such a loving and compassionate and just giving person, and that's really a testament to you, Roma.